Behavior is something that we all deal with throughout our life, in our daily lives. We see someone thinking about something, talking to us, walking around, running by. We see movies, we see animals doing something that some of part we understand and some of we don't. Now, these are reactions to particular stimuli, a stimuli or a change that has happened throughout their environment, or it might have been happening inside their body as well. Now, these are some changes that have been happening from the normal, and animals and plants react to it. Now, these responses are collectively called as behavior. Now, the response can include movements, and there also might be no movement. In short, we can say that behavior is a response to particular stimuli or particular group of stimuli. So the responses can include movements, movements of particular body parts or movement of entire body, running or any kind of movement, or there might be also no movements. I mean, in a response to a particular stimulus, if you stay still, even that's a response, right? So what is a stimulus? Stimulus is any kind of change that is happening that might be external. External changes refers to any kind of outside change. I mean that is happening outside the body, outside the organism's body. Whereas internal, these internal changes are basically happening inside the body. Inside the body refers to any kind of change that is happening, like over pheromones, over hormones, over physiological changes, or any kind of changes that is happening over time. Even that is considered as a stimuli. Okay, stimuli is plural for stimulus. This is Oriental magpie robin, a pretty common bird, and it is sighted throughout many gardens in India, and it has a very sweet and melodious song. Now, whenever we listen these kind of songs, many kind of questions pops up in our mind. What it is all about, like how it is able to produce such kind of interesting and intriguing song patterns. Why is it doing so? Why is it kind of producing so interesting patterns, so interesting sound? Where did it learn from, and where it is targeting to? When did it learn it? Or is it something that has been inside their mind like before they have born? Is it like that these kind of information have been passed over generations, multiple generations? Then where did it come from? When did it started? Now these are many interesting questions that comes to a mind of ecologist, to a behavioral ecologist who tries to pursue different types of questions regarding animal behavior and behavior plant as well. Now all these questions can be clubbed together to form four specific questions in animal behavior. Now these four specific questions were developed by Nico Tinbergen or Nicholas Tinbergen, who was a prominent Dutch scientist, and he also received Nobel Prize in Medicine with Konrad Lorenz and Carl von Frisch. Now the four questions can be clubbed as the causation of the behavior. Now causation refers to what causes it. Okay, so what causes the bird songs? What are the physiological adaptations or physiological changes happening inside the body? What are the proteins that are responsible for the production of such kind of elaborate songs? How do the neurobiological process and the brain processes the information to produce such songs? How does physically it regulates its syrinx to produce such a song. It pumps out air through the lungs, which passes through the syrinx to produce such an elaborate song, which is regulated by its experiences. Now, these songs are learned. So, how do they learn these songs? Where have they been learning these songs? Okay, these are pretty interesting questions. Now, in birds, the song is basically learned from a tutor. So the individual learns song from the tutor. The tutor is usually of the same species. Uh, the tutor is usually a relative. It might be, a father or a particular relative around its nest, from where they'll see, they listen to them and learn the song. Now these songs are specific to males. Now females also produce song, but these elaborate songs are specific to males, and these male songs are produced according to the development of the seasons that are coming by. So they don't actually produce song throughout the year, but these elaborate songs are specific to particular season. Now, why are they doing this? Why are they producing such elaborate song? What is the benefit of it? Now, is there any cost associated with it? So it is a possibly a call where it is calling or wooing a mate, which gives a reproductive advantage. Now the motivation behind it is to produce a better song from the other individuals so that it might get a female to mate with, and it will pass on the genes to the next generation. Now the question rises, is this song only from this generation? If they are learning from a particular tutor, that means they have been passed on to multiple generations like that. So where did it start from? When did it develop among the individuals? And how is it changing over time? How is it getting fixed? Is it changing with respect to multiple environmental scenarios? Now, these are multiple questions which can be put into phylogeny. Understanding the evolution of the song and understanding that will give an idea about how the changes will go on into the future timeline or the future changes. So these are 4 questions of Nicotin-Bergen which an ethologist or a behavioral ecologist uses in order to understand and ask questions around behavior. Behavior and its development can be either innate or it can be acquired. Now, innate behavior is basically instinctive, or also called as instinct, is genetically acquired or inherited over generations. That is usually rigid and fixed. That means it is same among all the individuals of the species. Now, for example, in case of 3-spined stickleback males, we can see that the underbelly is in red color. Now this red color is specific to these species, and whenever another male sees this red belly, it attacks, it gets aggressive. Now this is what we call as the sign stimulus. So this is a very specific stimulus which triggers a instinctive pattern or innate behavior. So this is called as sign stimulus. Acquired behaviors are acquired in the lifetime or after birth. Imprinting is a kind of behavior which is usually acquired in the primary ages of individual. It is usually acquired within a short span of time during the development and growth of an individual, which is also called a sensitive period. Now among this sensitive period, our organism learns something and it remains throughout the lifetime. This is partially rigid because the learning that happens within the sensitive period can vary, and it varies with respect to the individuals, its parent. A very common example is ducklings following their mother. Now, this experiment was conducted by Konrad Lorenz, in which he enacted as a mother and the ducklings actually followed him. So, it's very interesting experiment. I'll post a link in the description, you can see it. Instincting or innate behavior are also sometimes considered as fixed action patterns. Fixed action pattern refers to specific activities or responses that happens in a fixed manner over a pattern, and that is same among different individuals of the same species. Hence, it is also sometimes referred as fixed action patterns. Then learned behaviors are acquired throughout lifetime. We learn many things. Every small thing that we do right now has been as a part of a learning process that is happening over the time of our life. Writing, playing keyboard, and riding bicycle. There are different activities that we learn throughout our lifetime. It changes over lifetime, and every individual that it does it differently. There is no individual that has the ability to read in the same type. Every individual does it differently. Now, this is sometimes triggered by specific stimulus or action or thought or experience. We will learn about different learned behaviors and how these behaviors in turn are triggered and managed with respect to their cost and benefits in different scenarios, setups, or social and cultural influences. We'll learn in later chapters how neurobiological aspects of behavior regulates the instincts, their imprinting, and how these characters that are learned has many different cost and benefit ratios, and there are optimal scenarios where these scenarios or these behaviors are acted upon. Thank you.